gentlemen, I am back with another video, and this video is going to be a little different. This video is going to be a replica wrestling belt collection video. I know there's a whole bunch of them out there over YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff, but I'm just going to head and join the party and join the community and do it as well. I'm sort of a part of the belt community. I don't really show myself out there, even though I show off my collection. But I've never made a video showing off my collection before until now, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. But, you know, there's plenty of people out there who make replica belts and everything, well, that do make belts, wrestling belts, and all that. And if you want to get out there and buy some, purchase one to get a belt made, or, get your own custom-made belt, you can go to people like Reggie Parks, or Dave Milliken, or Jamar, or Wildcat belts. There is a timetable on it when it comes to that. Just because you go to them and talk to them about getting a belt made doesn't mean they're going to make it and have it to you in a month or two. There's a waiting list on that. But if you're willing to go on that waiting list and wait after, paying for your belt and wait, it is well worth it. I've seen people get their belts after they've waited for them, and they have been well worth the wait. There's also a person, if you live overseas, there's a guy by the name of Paul Martin Championship Belts. He's a friend of mine. He does make wrestling belts over there as well. I've seen his work, and he just made a belt called the Discovery Y Championship, and Chris Sabin is the current holder and the inaugural champion of that title. And I've seen that belt, and it looks amazing. It's great work to that. The art in that went into making that belt, it looks gorgeous. It looks beautiful. He also does re-leathering work as well. So if you've got a wrestling belt that you want to get re-leathered, contact him. As in here in the States, if you want to get one re-leathered, I suggest contacting on here or on Twitter. His name is Lucky Hands or Scott Thibodeau. If you want to get a hold of him, they both do great work. There's a couple of people that have gotten me into really collecting belts, which one is Paul Martin, and a couple other people, Source A90 and Hazard F5. There are three guys that have gotten me into wanting collecting belts. I've wanted to do belt collecting. I just didn't know how to go about it and all that. And I've realized over time how to do it and go about it. If you want to buy a wrestling belt, you go to Wrestling Superstore. They're selling Ring of Honor titles now, I believe. Go to www.shop.com. They sell belts. eBay, of course. And if you want to go ahead and go on to belttalk.com and get a hold of somebody on there. They've got, you can talk to somebody about buying a belt, real or replica, and they'll work out a deal with you. Or go on Facebook, go to a belt site, one of the belt groups, and go through there. And now I'll go ahead and get into my belt collection. The first one I have, which is the very first belt that I bought, which is the WWE Attitude Era Big Eagle belt. I'll go ahead and show that to you right there. Right there. It is a great looking belt. I very love this belt. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I did watch wrestling back in the height of the Monday Night Wars. I will go ahead and admit that I know I've probably admitted this back in the Macho Man video, but I didn't know about the WWE really until the mid to late 90s. And when I started watching it aggressively, it was right around when Degeneration Extra started and all that, and the Winged Eagle was starting to phase out. and this bad boy phased in, and it's became one of my favorite belts of all time. Yes, the WWE version, not WWF, and the reason why it's the WWE version is the WWE versions are very hard to come by because everybody that's got them, they're so rare to get because people realize the value goes with it if it's a WWF version compared to WWE's because the company is WWE, not WWF no more. The next belt, which I'm going to show you, is the ECW World Title. The second version, I say it's the second version because the first version was the Taz version, but this is the second version with the purple logo. And there we go. And here we go. I'll show that to you right there. Right there. And yes, it does have the orange strap on the back. It is by far one of all my belts in my collection are my favorites. That's why I have them, obviously. But being a fan of the Monday Night Wars and also being a fan of ECW, the biggest three companies in the height of the 90s, that's when wrestling was humongous. Everybody loved wrestling. Everybody, when you're young and you decide you want to get into the wrestling business, to be a wrestler, referee, manager, whatever, those are the three companies you can decide which one to go to. And, when they went down and all that, that sucked. But then my next two belts, which are WCW World Titles, and when they went down as well, the only thing you had left to go was WWE. Speaking of next two titles, I have the classic WCW World Title, 91 to, it says 91 to 93, but I say 94 because they used it all the way up until mid 94. The Clash of Champions, when they unified this world title with the big gold, our Clash of Champions, Sting versus Ric Flair, and I say 93. I say 94. Sorry, because that's when this belt was still active, not 93. But that was the full year though that it was active. So I agree with that one. But the next belt that I have is the big gold right there, WCW World Heavyweight Title with the 1mm plates. Yes, I said that. The 1mm plates. Ric Flair nameplate on that. And if you're wondering, on the back, yes, it is the WCW World Title from when WCW is still in business. On there says 1999 World Championship Wrestling, not WWE, not World Wrestling Entertainment. WCW. As you can tell, I'm a WCW fan, a big one. But last but not least, the coup de grace. My last belt that I bought, which is the biggest one that I have, and I know you saw a little bit of it. Put those back up there. This right here is the WWE Undisputed Title version 2. Right there. Right there. With the Undertaker nameplate right there. Now, version 2, the one that Rock won when he beat Undertaker, surprisingly enough, The Rock. He beat The Undertaker and Kurt Angle at Vengeance 2002 to become the Undisputed Champion. This is by far one of, like I said before, all my belts are my favorite, but this right here, the biggest of the bigs. I've seen the new WWE titles in person. I saw Not the network version, but the version before that, version 1, the WWE, the big W belt, what they call it. I've seen that in person, and that's pretty big, but not compared to this. This is ginormous. Ginormous in itself. It's one of my favorites. You know, everybody says, you know, they've got to upgrade to the next level and all that, and, you know, they unified the world title with the WWE title and all that, and they're wanting, you know, well, if you're going to unify them and make it as one, why not go back to this one? I mean, if you look at the belt span on all the belts, this right here and the Attitude Era belt, they didn't get a long lifespan. They didn't get one at all. This one from 2002 to 2005, and the Attitude Era belt from 98 to 2002, and all that. And it might seem like they're around for a long time, but they weren't, because the Winged Eagle title is from 1988 up until 98, so that's 10 years, and Spinner title is from around 2005 to 2013. So, you know, that's a long time as well for the Spinner title. But this and the Attitude Era belt, that 10-year lifespan, like five years if that. So, in closing, I'm just going to say, you know, that's my replica belt collection. Like I said, I like wrestling. I love my replica belts. And, you know, until next time, I will talk to you guys later.